Alright, so what's going on YouTube? Got another little video coming at you real quick from the RC Dungeon. I wanted to go over a few things. Mainly just doing this video because if you follow the channel and stuff like that, I wanted you guys to know about the roll bar that I had on my video the other day. That the fitment stuff on that roll bar, yeah, it's not really for the Trail Finder trucks, the Mojave body. It fits the long wheelbase truck. So I'm going to go over with that in a minute. And we got our G.I. Joe here to help explain it in the bed of the Old Red. That's what I've dubbed this truck, is Old Red. I've cleaned it up a little bit and did some service work to it. And I've been wanting to, I fixed some really bad body breakage in the back. I'm not going to go over that right now. And I kind of used the roll bar to tie everything back together to hold it. So this truck gets beat pretty bad. Been a very extremely tough truck. So, but we got a short little coffee and our package that we got today from RPP. I got a small order from them. So we'll just go ahead and go over that first. I got some stuff for the Blazer. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. I went ahead and ordered the RC four-wheel drive Blazer Lexan fenders. There's the part number if you guys want it. Z-S1729. Like I said, that's just I went ahead and picked up a set of the Lexan fenders. We're going to give a shot with these, with the Blazer. Then we'll move on to maybe like some 3D printed ones or something if I don't like them. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying some stuff here. Got the bumper mount here. For the red 4Runner, because I had to steal the bumper mount off the red 4Runner. Well, I had to borrow it for the Blazer, and I had to modify it, so it's just staying on the Blazer. So I needed one for the 4Runner to mount the winch bumper back on to the red 4Runner, which it's going to get a functioning winch put back on it because it needs a winch. Picked up I went a different route with the steering link. This is the Scale Super Lift adjustable steering stabilizer for your RC four-wheel drive trucks. That's the part number Z-S0986. I picked it up for the Blazer just to give something a little different than the Rancho stuff. And then I picked up the black shock boots. These may or may not be going on the Blazer. I'm not 100% sure. They may be going on the Marty truck. But there's the black RC four-wheel drive shock boots. Part number Z-SO891. Pretty much everything here is RC four-wheel drive stuff. I mean, there's some SSD stuff that I picked up that I've been wanting for a while. These are the Scale bolts. Lug nut simulation bolts from SSD. I went ahead and got 2 packs to have extra in case I lose some of them, and then I might use them other places. I like the black bolts on the wheels for the lug nuts. If it's a black wheel, sometimes I go with like the stainless ones, because they, you know, kind of pop a little more. But if it's like the white spokes and stuff, I like to stay with, like, for some reason I like the black ones. So these are the ones that do fit the Injora white spokes, and of course they'll fit their other spokes. These are 2.5 by 8 millimeter. The Injora ones I researched are 2.5 by 6 millimeters, but the 8 millimeters, a couple little extra threads isn't going to hurt. There's the part number. SSD, this came from RPP. SSD 00408. There's 30 in a pack. There's 60. That way I have plenty of extras for different wheels. So we got those from RPP, from SSD. And then I picked up the scale brake rotors finally. We're doing some upgrades to the TF3. Gonna be adding these into the front. I only got 2 for the front because the Toyotas didn't have disc brakes in the back. They'd have had drum brakes, so I just picked up the disc for the front. When you get them, make sure they have a difference in their 155 wheels now. SSD, they have a version 2. And the ones that accept the brass rings are the version 2 wheels. So a lot of the fancier beadlock looking SSDs are not a V2 wheel hub. So you got to pay attention to that, guys. Not just order the old style beadlock rings with the multiple scale bolts around the outside. Because one, the brass rings for the weight do not work. And these do not fit. You have to make sure you get the V2 stuff. Make sure you have the V2 wheels. And these are for the 155s. So those are going to be going on the front of the Trailfinder 3. These are kind of pretty nice. You know, add a little bit of scale detail. My bud helped me hook me up with these. He's running them on his Trailfinder. They look real good. So I finally got me a set of them. They're not that expensive. They're like $11.99. On RPP's website, and I think you can get them other places as well. So just a smaller order with some stuff in it. Like I said, for the Blazer and some other stuff here. I just wanted to go over with you guys real quick for our package delivery day. Gonna have a lot more stuff coming up on the Blazer later. There's some stuff that I've came across online that I want to get 100%. Going to be changing the build around a little bit. Still keeping the SSD scale engine cover for now. But there's some other stuff that I definitely want to do to detail out the engine compartment a little more. Because, I mean, I've already done that much work to it. I might as well go ahead and detail it out a little better and finish it out. So, still working in the engine compartment of the Blazer. That's enough about the Blazer. Remove the engine or bumper mount here. What you got here, this is the roll bar from, actually you can get on AliExpress. That's where this came from. I'll just go ahead and tell you. It's $9 and something on AliExpress. It's the same cheap China roll bar that you get from you know, eBay, Amazon. There's a different another view of it. Let's get our G.I. Joe out of there. And so I'm going a route with old Red here, the 4Runner. I'm going to be opening it up. We're going to be putting some tube doors on it. Because this time the body's getting beat up. This is my harder core, more dedicated trail truck. So, anyways, I got it mounted up. I'm not real. Let me drop this and show you guys. It did fit. It will fit a Trailfinder 2 Mojave. You're going to have to do some work to it to get it to work. Right off the bat, it will fit the long wheelbase TF2 Mojave body. It will actually fit that perfectly, how it's supposed to fit. Actually, your rear mounts, where I have these right here, they still don't mount to your wheel humps. They mount actually on the bed floor perfectly flat, which is what you really should mount to your wheel humps, like a real pickup. That's how they mount. But anyways, it will mount flat, and then it'll mount in the correct spots in the front if you have an extended cab. Or not an extended cab. I'm sorry. Long wheelbase, the 4-door Mojave body, not the extended cab. It might fit the extended cab. I didn't mess with it to see if it would fit the Marty. But for sure it will fit the long wheelbase Mojave Trailfinder 2. So what I've done here is I in the process of working with this thing, it was first off out of the package. I noticed the one bar, the rear tube here, it was kind of flimsy in the package. I took it out. I was just messing around with it a little bit in the Trailfinder 3 because that's what I was going to put it in. And one of the rear bars just broke off. And it's not that it's crappy metal. I mean, it's not great metal. But number one, it is pretty heavy. So if you put this in your truck, keep in mind it's going to add some weight to the back. That's the number one thing. It's very heavy roll bar. It's not the greatest. It's like a mixture between like a steel and aluminum. You know, basically the same thing that your RC four-wheel drive bumpers are made out of. It's not really necessarily pot metal, but you know, it's not like super good heavy duty steel gauge steel stuff either. But it does suffice, you know, it will work. So since it was broken anyways, and I had to do some different stuff with old Red here, I just figured now would be a good time to add a roll bar. It has, you know, I'm not probably going to put lights on them because this truck gets beat so hard. If I put plastic lights or lights up there like that, they're just going to get snapped off. It may get some, I don't know, something else added to it to be, you know, maybe like one of them LED strip bars, like you see in like the newer stuff. I may add it with like one like multicolored light change deals or something. I don't know. I gotta wait and see if I like it on there. So we'll go from there. But this truck needed a little bit of scaled out stuff, so I like it on there. Added nice weight to the back and the front now. I don't like having that the weight's there, but man, it really helped my suspension flex with the added weight back here in the back. So, but now I've got 65 grams of the brass rings of the SSDs in the front on these wheels as well. So I'm not really too worried about the counterbalance weight stuff in the front end. So this truck was super stable. We'll see. I got to run it on the same areas where I ran it before to be 100% sure. But I think we'll be okay. I may even take my tailgate off and do me like a cargo net through here of some kind. I'd like to get like a 3D printed one or whatever. But or I may make a cargo net like the old school 80s toy like trucks had and stuff. And then I'm thinking about doing like a spare tire mount right here, or I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm not putting a lot into it because this truck is the one that gets the designated trail beast. So, anyways, what I did with this, these ended up they weren't gonna work. That one of these was already basically broke loose in the package. Wasn't real impressed with that. The weld was terrible. So I ended up in the process of trying to bend these in a little bit because no matter what you do where you mount this in any of the beds of the trucks except for the four-door cab, they don't match. These are terrible for like the Trailfinder 2. You're gonna have to modify it to fit the Trailfinder 2. I honestly think these are like an Endura bar for like the Jeep Comanche body. I think they're a perfect fit for that. So, without getting this video much longer, what I ended up doing was I mounted the front bar because these two pieces basically, they broke off. So I mounted the front bar to the front up here. Had to take my seat out, which is no big deal. Like I said, I'm going to be putting some scale stuff in here. I was hoping to be able to turn the seat around so people could ride back here facing out this way, but, you know, whatever. It's no big deal. But I'll be doing something with you know, to cover this stuff up, so it'll be covered. I actually thought about putting a truck toolbox, trying to, like, some way in here to cover that. And then I can actually put some cool stuff in the truck toolbox to haul for the trails, too. But anyways, we're getting too far off topic. Since these broke off, I mounted this part in here first, which I actually kind of look like an aftermarket type off-road roll cage. I thought that was kind of cool looking in there. It worked out kind of cool. And I mounted the front part, and then I bolted it down, you know, where I wanted it, which this was kind of a nightmare because the left and the right, because this bar is not exactly mounting points are perfect to one another, so you kind of got to get one side where you want to mount it and then move the other side around, and then you may end up bending it around. I'm not going to say it wasn't worth the $9 and something I paid for it still, because that's still super cheap. You know, and it worked out good for this truck, so I'm not going to complain terribly about it. But could have been a lot better. They definitely should not say fits in the Trailfinder 2, because technically it does fit the long wheelbase. It does not really fit the regular, Trail Finder body. So these tubes, I got them lined up here, and I mounted this to where the front rack would kind of have a little bit of like lean back on it. And then I got these mounted to where I was pushing this back forward. So we had forward, it was like shoving the headache rack part back forward. Marked my holes and drilled them to where there was tension on this. And I mounted one, and I just took that Super Hold JB Weld stuff and mixed it up, and put a little bit here and a little bit on the roll bar, put them together, and then just formed my JB Weld around the tube here. It's even hard to even make out where I actually used it, but like right in through here, which basically looked like the weld that was on it from the factory, because the welds weren't too beautiful from the factory that made these either way. So yeah, they're just through here. Did the same thing with the other side. And then just bolted it down back here. And we got a really super strong, this truck's heavy, guys, because of the brass stuff in the wheels. I mean, you can really, bouncing around. It's not gonna, it's not gonna break. Just showing you guys, it's not gonna break and fall off or anything. I knocked my power switch loose, but I'll have to put that back on. But yeah, just there it is, mounted up in old red. It will fit the 4Runners. That leads me to believe it should fit in the extra cabs as well if you wanted to do something like that. It may fit the wheel wells better in the extra cab. I didn't give two craps that it mounted here. This thing ain't no show truck. So it just looked like somebody welded up an aftermarket rear half, ball haul type pre-runner cage for it. So, I'm perfectly happy. And it's sturdy, guys. It ain't gonna come, you know what I mean? It ain't gonna break. I'm pulling on the tubes pretty hard, and, they're not busting off of it. So, that JB Weld is definitely, this body's gonna break before that JB Weld breaks in that seam. And I know, I've even freaking JB Welded heads on a small block Chevy before to hold them. A redneck thing to do, I know. But if you guys are interested in doing something like that, you could get this to work on the Trail Finder body too, I'm sure. You're just going to have to mess with it until you get it to where you want it. But I just wanted to do that and get this video posted up for that. So, I don't want to get the video any longer because I've got some stuff I got to get to, wrenching and everything. I'm going to be doing some videos if you guys are interested stay posted. I'm going to be doing some Trail Finder 2 versus the Trail Finder 3 stuff. And I'm going to do a video where just kind of leaf spring setups. Because the guy I've been talking to, he's a pretty cool dude. The Metal Gear RC guy. Check out his YouTube. I seen he gave me a shout out on his last video where I was talking to him, helping him out set up his Trail Finder 2. I thought that got me thinking, maybe I should do like how I set my trucks up, leaf spring wise and everything, and go over some stuff and some things that I've learned just to share the knowledge on it. If anybody's interested in it, so those videos will be up on the channel. But anyways, that's it, guys, from the RC Dungeon. I've got some stuff I got to get to wrenching on. So if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, you can comment down below. I appreciate you when you comment, when you watch. Hit the like and subscribe. You find this video, a little informative or whatever. If you guys need information or anything like that, I'm not providing a link because I'm not affiliated or anything like that with AliExpress. If you buy that roll bar and it breaks, don't take it out on me. That's what I had to do to fix it. I'm just telling you that's still a cheap buy for, a semi-steel roll bar. A Chinese steel roll bar, I should say. No offense to anybody, but it's about, the quality you'd expect. So, but it can be modified and made well. So anyways, guys, from the RC Dungeon, as always, often imitated, never duplicated. Peace.